I finally bought a external drive so I can save all my
Oh,
videos.
good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we are in module 2. I'm excited. Thank you for still sticking with us and getting through this process. As I always say, continue to work on your portfolio, your profile blueprint. It is a work in progress. It is something that's just going to constantly be a part of this journey as you're trying to pull those keywords. So I thank you for even taking that attempt. So today we're going to focus on 2 concepts. Understanding what connections are, define the different levels of connections defined by LinkedIn, and then we're going to also finally look at methods to present our work samples on LinkedIn. So those are our 3 targets. So levels of connections. So this is in essence how LinkedIn works. Here I am, and then we have our first level, our second level, and then our third level. So each level is pretty much defined by who you are connected to directly. So our first level are the people that we have already established some type of connection to. Those are our coworkers, our friends, our family, college mates, sorority sisters, frat brothers. Those are the people that we have already connected with. The people that are listed as second level. So sometimes you're going to actually see next to their name or their picture, second. If you see second, they're not connected to you, but they are connected to one of your first level connections. Okay. So one of the people that know me, they're not connected to you. When you see their profile, it's going to see second. That means that they're just connected to one of your connectors. The third level are the people that are like further away from you. They are connected to your second level connections. Now, there's actually a fourth level, and those are people that are just like beyond our connection. They're not connected to anyone. A lot of times you're going to see those people, you're going to either just see their title, you might see the name of the company, but you're not going to see their picture, you're not going to see their name. So that is also, and that's also like the fourth level, or just the people that you just have no connections. Now, a lot of times those are a lot of like CEOs and presidents of like, I always think of Jamie Dimon. If Jamie Dimon has a LinkedIn profile, chances are Jamie Dimon is going to probably come up. He might come up for me as a third level or a second level because I used to work with JP Morgan and I have people that I have connected with. But if it's someone who has totally never worked for JP Morgan, they have no connections, he is not going to show up as a name. His name will not show up. It will just say CEO of JP Morgan Chase. His name won't show. So the whole point is we want to get to these connections. And a lot of times you might want to get to those third level connectors. Okay. So how do we connect? So I always say you want to view a person's profile. Now, please understand some of the information in your connections are going to be limited. So someone who is in my third level, I'm not going to see all of their information. If an individual has intentionally set up their profile so that second and third level connections cannot read it, you are only going to see their name and their headline and possibly their company if they have that released. Once you have identified there's someone that you want to connect with, you can simply just send them a connection, right? Nice little send. And there is an option that you will send a message. Now, I like to use this especially if I found a job. A lot of times if I see a job is posted on LinkedIn, I would like to send a message that, you know, I'm very interested in learning more about the organization as I am exploring an opportunity with your organization. Would love to connect. Thank you, Tanisha Williams, MBA. So you can definitely do that. Now, the bad part is you never know who has not accepted your connection. So you kind of like, you wait. If you keep, like, you would keep track, But once they do accept it, you do get an invitation, and you actually get an email that would say, send a message to your new connection, and they will have the person's name. So you will know when they do connect with you. A lot of people set up their LinkedIn profiles and they just kind of forget about them. So don't be offended if they don't connect with you immediately. Also, there are people that profiles were established automatically because of their work email. So there are some profiles with it's just the person's name and that's it. No picture, no information. A lot of times those are just generated because someone already sent them an invitation knowing their work email. So that's kind of the bad part. So I really have two profiles because I have people that are trying to connect with me at one of my jobs, but they keep using the job email and my profile is not attached to my work email. So just kind of be mindful of that. Now, once you're connected, it is really helpful if you send them an email, and it can be very brief. I've had people send me an email, send me a connection, hey, Tanisha, thanks for connecting. Here is my Zoom link if you would like to set up a virtual chat, just so we can learn and discuss more about one another and how we can possibly help each other. Sometimes I do click on it. I will schedule it, especially if they're in a field that is related or something that I'm trying to gain more insight in. And then, unfortunately, which is bad, sometimes we just kind of disregard it. There are individuals that once they connect with you, they're going to try to sell you. So especially if if they are a part of the multi-level marketing, just like they do on other social medias, the moment that they become your friend, they're in your DM, they're sending you a message saying, hey, would you be interested in making more money? I have found that LinkedIn, they have a little bit more class. They tend to send the messages a little bit more professionally. Would you be interested in learning more about this? They try not to do a direct sell. If you have connected with someone, it would be nice if you just send them a nice little email. Thank you for your connection. And I always say, I would love to discuss more about your background. Stay engaged with your connections. The good part is that LinkedIn will send you every day, and I will show you on my thread, every day they're going to send you whose birthday it is, right? So and they can say happy birthday. You click on that, it generates the message immediately for you. So you're not even really typing anything. It's an automatic message. Happy birthday, Bola. Enjoy your day. Sometimes I will add a little extra if I know the person, or if I'm really just trying to build that rapport with them. So you can do that. If they update their LinkedIn profile to reflect a new job, you can send them a congratulations for your new position. If they got a promotion, so LinkedIn kind of helps you make it very easy to connect with your connect with your connections and stay connected with them. But I think staying engaged with them in their actual posts, the things that they are sharing, LinkedIn is also really good because if one of my connections comments, or if they like a particular post, it's going to come up on my feed that Tanisha Williams liked this post. So now I get to see what Tanisha liked, and now I can either read that information, I can now engage with that new possible connection. I could send them a connection, or I can now just engage in that dialogue and conversation. That will tend to have people now view your profile. And LinkedIn is really great at telling you how many people viewed your profile. Okay, so they do have a paid subscription if you want to find out who is viewing your profile. That's something that they do offer. It is paid, but you are able to see, Nancy Williams from the CEO of Educational Consulting LLC views your profile. you may not know Nancy, you may not understand why Nancy is viewing your profile, but at least now that can either be a trigger for you of saying, hey, let me see what Nancy is about. Is there an opportunity that Nancy is looking for? A lot of times people do searches and LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you that how that search works and how you are now exposed to new connections. So any questions about that? All right. And so now there are going to be people that we cannot connect with at all. Right. So I can't connect with Tony Robbins, but I can follow him. Right. So Tony Robbins, Les Brown, those are the type of influencers that I follow because I am an inspirational speaker. So I can follow their profile and I can engage in their posts. So their posts are going to always come up on my page. So that also exposes me to have engagement with like-minded people. Because if they're going to Les Brown, there is a particular audience that is following Les Brown, that are commenting on his posts. And now I'm able to reply to someone, and I'm able to, connect with them. That tends to lead to a connection. That can lead to, an opportunity in the future. So you don't want to, I always say, I've had students that will create their profile and they would say, a college student studying for their associates. I connect with them because I can possibly be a person that could, guide them in a direction for a possible internship. So I never stray away from connections, but what I do stay away from is inappropriate conversations. So I recently had a gentleman that sent me a connection, and he sent me a message, hey baby, hey sexy, and I was like, block. So they do allow you to also block them, right? They do allow you to block them. So it's no different from Facebook, Instagram, all those same features. They just have different terminologies. So now I want to actually go into my profile and show you some of the functionalities. Oh, here it is. So, oops, did I press it already? I think I did. Let me go back. All right, so here are people that are in, so you see how it says third? So this person is connected to one of my second. This person is one of my second. So they're connected to someone that is one of my immediate direct contacts. So is this person here. All right. So if you see that, you can either just click on the plus sign. All right. So I'm going to show you the difference between the plus sign for the second. Right. So this person, I can only follow them. All right. So now I am following her, and I don't want to follow that one. So let's look at Peggy. When I click on that, here it asks me, do I want to add a note for Peggy? So my invitation is already on its way, but now I can add, I can personalize, and I can add a note. All right, so you only get 300 characters, so you don't have to, send like a long thesis, just like a quick, looking to connect with more like-minded people, would like to connect with you to learn more about what you're doing. Okay. Something that I do want to show you. So let's look at Les Brown. So Les Brown, right? So you see, so Les Brown already is, I think he's maxed out. I cannot see him. I cannot add him. So he's one of my seconds. So there's someone that is connected to him, and I'm able to see anything that he has done recently as far as, the recent 26 mutual connections, and then there are groups. So that's another way that you can find people to connect with. You can have a connection by the different groups. So we're going to talk more about that next week. Oh, thank you for letting me know. All right. So do you want me to go back to, I didn't even see the chat. Do you want me to go? So here it is. So what I was saying before about the first, second, and third. So Bob Proctor is one of my second connections. That means that he's connected to someone that I know. So if I connect with him, I'm going to be able to add a note, and I can say, pleasure meeting with you. I am a fellow author. You want to kind of make it a little bit personable so that it's not, you're not trying to sell them quickly like, hey, I want a job. And, so you definitely want to make that note a little bit more personable. If you don't want to send a note, you can just click on none. Right? Here is the legendary John Maxwell. John Maxwell is connected to someone that I know, but he has a plus sign. So this plus sign is telling me that John Maxwell I cannot add him as a connection. I can only follow him. All right. So when I see the only follow, when I click on his profile, it's not going to give me the same options, right? It's going to say I can follow him. I can see the mutual connections. So there are 10 people that I do have connections with. We have 6 groups that we are connected with. And I am now able to see anything that he was featured. So his profile has other options that our profiles don't have options to. And then here is the activity that John has provided. Now, most of his stuff is going to be shared. So if he shared anything on his page, we're going to be able to now navigate through that, right? So you see this, over 1,200 people have some type of reaction, and 36 people have commented. Depending on what you're really looking for, you can click on those 36 comments and you can go through those comments and see who could I really reply to, right? Because this is how we're going to start to engage and really start to get our profile a little bit more visible, right? Love it, right? And you say, yes, me too. All right. So you can just like everyone's, but if you really want to get some true connections, you want to actually put a comment. All right. So this is the following of a person that you're following. Okay. Now, remember I said where you can engage with them. So under your notifications, you are going to see if anyone in your, right? So here, there was someone's birthday. So I did not send him a birthday. Say happy birthday. I don't have to type anything. I can just say happy birthday, enjoy today, and have a great year. And then just send it. Right? So they make it very easy for you to like engage, and you don't have to really think about how you want to engage. Okay. Anytime someone replies to a comment, this is where I like to engage the most, because to me, this is going to open up opportunities. All right. The one thing that I came across recently was a reverse search. And so, Bola, if you can give me a job title, give me a position that you would possibly research. right? Literacy coach. So let's see, right? I'm gonna type that as a hashtag. So you could do it as a hashtag, or you can just type it as it is. So literacy coach, and let's see what comes up. Okay, so here we have, it shows you, you can either follow this hashtag, but now it's going to show you other people that are posting either that hashtag, right? So now you're able to see, this might be someone I want to connect with, right? Let me see, who is Candace Williams? And now you can go and explore her page. So this is what I mean by when we use certain keywords, when we use certain terminologies, this is how you pop up on people's radar. Okay, so you see here, oh, he sends me a reply, right? And here you even see, remember I showed you? So there are no bullets on hers, right? She has a video, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Her education, okay? And that is her profile. So now I can determine, do I want to connect with her? Don't want to send her a message. If you don't have the paid for the premium, you can't just send messages to everyone. So I am going to press connect. Okay. And so that's really how easy it becomes. And you're able to really engage. But now if we go back to that post, just so that they don't see me, I'm now going to come up on their radar. And they now have different options. Curious, insightful. I'm going to put insightful. Right. And so what was my education partner? Oh, this is so that's what you want people to see when they look for whatever that particular. So you want to start as you're posting things. Hashtags are becoming really big in LinkedIn world. A lot of people think that it's only in Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. There are so many. So here you're able to start seeing, oh, there are other hashtags that I could possibly search and see what comes up. Okay. Now, sometimes you might get lucky. You might come across an opportunity because there are some employers. There are some employers who are not. They don't want to pay, right? So they're like, we don't want to pay for a job posting. So we're going to post a job posting directly onto LinkedIn as a post. Okay. Here is a job opportunity. So this was actually 6 months ago, but this is how some employers, so I can't pronounce her name, Ms. Levins. She's the HR partner. She has a job opportunity seeking literacy coach, and it looks like this might not have been posted. Here you could have directly sent her a message, connected with her, and sent her a message that you were interested. Or you can actually read the job posting, and here Mike Walker actually put his email and phone number. So it's really helpful when you are, looking of connecting with other people, and you're going to be able to find those opportunities that might not show up here, right? Because doing it this way, even though it only has one like, that doesn't mean that some people did not just click on it and just copy and paste and send Mike Walker an email directly, right? So that's another great way. And you do want to kind of like send the connection if you sent an email, because you want him to like be able to now go to your profile and learn a little bit more about you beyond your resume. Okay, because I feel like LinkedIn can give a little bit more than what your resume presents. Okay, So that's a really great way to, change the way that we are finding our connections. So if you're focused as to what you're looking for, what type of people you want to connect with, I would feel like this is a very intentional way of doing that, instead of just seeing all of, the suggestions that LinkedIn, they're going to give you good suggestions, but if you know what you're looking for, then you might want to take that time. Um, I don't care for the idea of, just connecting with like, I did a work. I went to a workshop before, and the guy was like, "Just connect with everyone. Just get to over 500 connections, right?" So you would notice that here. So look at Mike Walker, 500 plus connections. He has more than 500. Some people feel like this really means something. To me, it really doesn't mean anything to me. However, there are some people that, they might not want to connect with you unless they see 500 plus connections. All right. But I also wouldn't just click here and then say, oh, people also view this. And then I just click, 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 click. You know, do you really like, why do you want to connect with those individuals? Right. So I think a lot of times if you're just starting out, yes. But when we start to actually have a strategy, it's like, all right, I want to connect with principals. I want to connect with the superintendents for every district in these particular states. And you can start to, maneuver from there, connect with, their team. Because the one great part about LinkedIn is that actually I just got a notification. Um, I just got a notification about this. Let me see. What was the message? They sent me a message. I applied for a job, and they said, if you want to get, it must have been in an email, but I applied for this job here. Right. So you see here. So I applied for these two jobs. They already downloaded my resume, which might be a good thing. I have two connections that work at this hospital. So I think it was the email. The email said, "Do you want to do you want your resume to get pushed to the front? Ask one of your connections for a referral." So that's like a whole nother ball game. So you already have people that work here, and they have pretty decent positions. Actually, I think one person works in HR, and I can technically reach out to him, establish a conversation. You don't want to just go straight to the, "Hey, I applied. Can you give me a referral?" You want to kind of like fill the person out, and then you can, politely ask them if they wouldn't mind, if they could, put in a good word for you, or, is there any information that they could possibly share or insight about the opportunity, just so that they would know, because somebody might say, "Hey, do you know Tanisha Williams?" Yeah, I know, but I don't know her personally, but I do see and follow her on LinkedIn, and she does, this information, she does that. She really seems like she's well versed in e-learning. So those are the types of things that could possibly happen when you have those type of connections. All right. So I know it seems kind of overwhelming, but when you actually get to that point, you really start to see like, oh my gosh, like there's a lot that I can actually, I can do. And you want that, right? You want to connect with the right people. Okay. And this is another way that you can find. So if you want to find people to follow, when you go to My Network, your network is going to show you how many people you have in your connections. And then they like to break them up into categories. So if I want to find people that work at Monroe, if I want to find people that I went to college with, Australia, right, they will have this. And so now you can take your time and actually go and say, okay, maybe I want to connect with, all the instructional designers, and e-learning consultants. Maybe they can put me in contact with a next opportunity. All right. So that's a really great strategy as well. So there's multiple ways. My network, You can do a direct search. If you already have connections, you will start to see on the right hand side that certain people are just going to pop up, and you're going to be able to just quickly um, send them a connection, right? And you kind of want to find like this young lady here. She puts a lot of great content out, and I love following her because she has a lot of engagement, and I actually have found a lot of my um, like-minded HR professionals by following her and going through her comments. Right. So there's some people that put out really good content, and you start to learn more about what they're doing. And then this is, you know, I do follow Grace Institute, but it shows me that one of my connections like this post. So now this might be information that I want to like as well. Okay. So it's like I said, LinkedIn will always, here is another one. This is my connection, and he commented on this post. I don't know Jonathan, but because Tommy liked this post or commented on this post, now this is coming to the forefront, right? So there's multiple ways, and the more people that you connect, the more your page and your timeline gets populated, right? And there are some, like, here is a judge. I follow this Judge Carlos Moore. He is very engaging. And, sometimes people are intimidated. Oh my gosh, this person's a judge. I'm in a sorority, he's in a fraternity. We were able to have, within a post, have, exchange dialogue surrounding, Greek life and politics, especially since Camilla Harris is an AKA. So, you can exchange conversations and, really look at it from a great standpoint. So I always say, never shy away from anyone. Don't think anyone is too big. Some people are very humble, and they will love to connect with you, right? The worst that you can see is that they never press accept. Okay. So the next thing I want to go over for the last few moments is your portfolio. Right? We all have a portfolio, and I always encourage individuals to, because we hear, could you provide a work sample? I recently did one with a young lady. She was asked to, did she know Excel? So I actually got the option. This is why I added it here. She was asked in her interview if she knew Excel. I said, well, the best way to show them, because anyone can put it on a resume, the best way to show them is to show them. So I had her go to a Zoom session, record her session, and have her create a workbook, very simple, but what they are looking for. So they were looking for a very particular, in that job posting they had posted, must know VLOOKUP and must know pivot tables. So I said, create a simple workbook and you're going to record yourself. And as you're recording yourself, you're explaining. So, you're doing the formulas, you're explaining the information, and then you're creating the pivot tables. And I said, and now, even if that particular employer never hires you, you can post that on LinkedIn, and it can display that So you're not just a resume anymore. You're not just a Microsoft Excel, or PowerPoint. You have now displayed and demonstrated to that potential employer that you know what you're talking about. So that's why I encourage everyone to create at least one sample of work that you can record and you can share on LinkedIn, because when they ask that question, not a problem. Do you see the link to my LinkedIn? Yes. If you go there underneath, you're going to see my sample, or you can just quickly take that link and you can send it to them in email. This is helpful, especially as we are in virtual. A lot of employers are not going to be doing in-person demos. So you will be able to do a quick teaching lesson or coaching lesson, and you can do a 5 to 10 minute coaching lesson or teaching demo, a training storyboard. If you are a graphic designer, like I believe everyone. I even think that for those who are administrative assistants, you're recording yourself answering a phone, and you're just doing the recording. So now they're able to hear you answer the phone, hear you articulate the term in the words, and engage with the possible client or customer. So everyone everyone needs to have at least one sample of work that can be displayed, and that any employer, any potential new client can go and they can um, take part and see, okay, well, you know what? Look, we need to get her in. We need to bring him in here, because we have now experience, right? It's about the experience of you, and that experience is going to live on your LinkedIn profile. So what are some of the e-learning tools? We have Zoom, Google Meet. You can record it, or you can just upload it to YouTube. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, you can, I think YouTube is the easiest. You can just make a very simple professional YouTube page. It doesn't have to have, a Miss Inspiration page, but you can upload that video, and then you can link the YouTube link to your LinkedIn profile. Some videos are sometimes too large, so that's why I would say YouTube. I know, was that Vimeo? They actually charge you. So YouTube is free. So at least you don't have to pay for anything, right? So this is one of my work samples. And okay, that didn't want to play. Okay, yeah, it's like a temp. Okay, here it is. Right, so this video is to show you how to see student preview. So when you go into your course, so I'm gonna just take it back to the dashboard, right? So you're gonna go to the course that you have. And over on the right-hand side, under course status, you're gonna see some of these options. And here is where it says, right? And this video is only 1 minute and 29 seconds. So if a company says we need someone that can walk faculty through how to use Canvas and how to, how to navigate certain components, they now at least see a snapshot of how do I walk them through, what terminologies am I using. So, you don't want it to be really long, but you do want them to at least get a taste and again, the experience of working with you. And I think that's the key part to having that. So that's why for the next week, and I hope it's not too much to ask, would love to see any type of work experience that you will want to share on your LinkedIn profile, right? Again, we want to get into the habit of giving a potential employer the ability to kind of experience you, and this could be even before they reach out to you, right? So they can, and I have seen now that I've added those videos, when I go to YouTube, my YouTube video views have gone up. Okay, and I post those. So the last thing I will show you that I think has been very beneficial, many of you have your own business. Okay, so because we have our own businesses, we want to create a profile for your company, and you want to link those videos underneath that. So how do we add a company? You're saying to yourself? So when you go to me, you're going to see, no, that's, I think I think it's changed because I now have a company. So under manage, if you don't have a company, you're going to see an option to add your company. Why isn't it taking me? Okay, I don't know why it's not clicking on it. I might need to refresh. But you can also, you can add your company on LinkedIn, and you can, you know, attach it to your profile. So the actual name of the company is going to show up. It's going to now have a hyperlink. It's also going to now have a location on, it's going to have a location in Google. And I think that's also helpful for, you know, if you're trying to, you know, you're trying to branch out from being an employee to now being a consultant, or, you know, actually being a business owner. And you will see the analytics. So once you create that, then you can go back to your work experience. You can attach this real life company, and that's where you can those post those sample work, because we don't want to get into the conflict where we're using videos like, or sample works. And I think a lot of employers, they understand that, you know, some work is owned by the company, so they don't want you to get in trouble for that. But you do want to at least, you know, put a place that they can go and see where you mimic, you know, in your own real time, where um you mimic your work. And it now lives really on LinkedIn. So that's also something else that you can do. So any questions? Any feedback? Any comments? Nope, not at the time. Is it a lot? Is it a lot to think? All right, it definitely is a lot, right? And this is why, like I said, you definitely got to digest it. So you will have this video, so you will be able to, you know, go back and, you know, review certain, you know, certain components, you know, see how to do a remote, a reverse search. That's what I like to call it. Do a reverse search of a potential, you know, employer or a connection. And that's, you know, definitely what I encourage. So this week, there is a challenge for you to create at least one video that you can share with the group, and um, and really just display. So like, find that one thing that you're just super passionate about, that you could talk about all day, but don't talk about it all day, because you want them to pay. You want them to pay for your expertise. So you want to just give them a taste of what would it be like to work with you. And, you know, and now you will have, you can either even make a hyperlink. So like the video with me showing my skills as a Storyline 360, I actually embedded that hyperlink to that video in my resume. So if they click on the video, they at least get to see, oh, so she does know Storyline. So, you know, if you want to do that, you can do something like that as well. So it can have multiple purposes. It could be attached to the resume, but then it can also have a life on YouTube, and then it can also have a life on LinkedIn. How does that sound? Are you up for the challenge? Okay. All right. So if there are no more questions, you can always go into the discussion and Canvas, and you can ask me questions there. I will be monitoring that. So I thank you for joining us for week two, and I hope this was helpful to you. And I look forward to seeing your amazing profiles by the time we finish in next week. Okay. Have a good evening. You will. Positive thinking yields positive results. That's my other quote. All right. Have a great night. And thank you for spending time with us today.